Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Game From Scratch with some news on the business front. That is, Unity Technologies have just purchased Artomatix. If you have never heard of Artomatix before, that is not completely surprising, but what they do is make AI-assisted artistry tools. Basically, if you are trying to create textures, they have tools to take some of the drudge work out of it for you. And you may be thinking to yourself, woohoo, this is our response to Epic Games buying Quixel and giving Megascans free to all of the Unreal Engine user base. And yeah, no, it's not. No, as far as I can tell, there is absolutely zero benefit from this move from Unity developers. And also, I just want to point out ahead before I get all ranty, there is something that Artomatix does, and hopefully Unity stops doing, that absolutely drives me insane. And we'll get to that in just a few minutes. But first, back to the deal itself. So Artomatix is an Irish-based company. They make artificial intelligence, here we'll go. AI-assisted artistry can help close the gap between the massive increase in the demands for content and the current limited abilities to produce visuals. The technology leverages emerging research in the world of artificial intelligence and machine learning to empower digital artists by increasing their creative velocity to produce work faster, quality work faster. Removing these barriers allows creatives to work at the speed of thought to achieve their creative vision. Yeah, there's a lot of buzz speak in there, but basically they make a product called ArtEngine, an artist-friendly 3D content creation tool that uses creative AI for scan and example-based material creation workflows. What that basically means is it allows you to do a lot of fine-tuned details that you would normally have to do yourself laboriously, and they do it for you. Up-resing, de-blurring, seam removal, unwarping, color matching, and more. And they've got their AI-based servers to run this. As far as I can tell, this actually all runs on their servers. You upload your workflow and how you want it to work. Their AI calculates for it and spits it back out to you. Now, I say, as far as I can tell, well, we'll get back to that when I start ranting in a few minutes. I don't have a lot of information to go from. There is their view here. Unity are basically buying them, have talented developers working to solve problems using AI and machine learning. Talent combined with the solution-oriented and production-validated approach of the ArtEngine teams mean we will accelerate our ability to build an exceptional set of tools that helps artistry and creatives in many different ways. Content creators can expedite the process and get infinite variations of their material in the blink of an eye. Immediate benefits apply to every industry exposed to 3D content regardless of platform or engine. We are very excited to have ArtEngine team join Unity. They have a great approach to solving the difficult challenges faced by artists, and we can't wait to see what we can build together. Stay tuned as we combine forces to explore all of the ways that AI-driven assisted artistry workflow can help artists deliver exceptional content. So if you're wondering, if we head on over to Artomatix, which is exactly what we're going to do next, if you have access to this guy as of now, no. Nothing has changed. This is just as the same service as it ever was. It's a neat looking service. I've got a couple of product screenshots. I can kind of give you an idea of what in theory it looks like. But it's basically for AI over... So it's here, material generation allows you to convert a single photograph or big scene into a full high-quality PBR material. So that's sort of like what Quixel's Megascans used to do from their bridge tools and so on. Material remastering, breathe new life into your old poor quality materials. You can up-res, de-blur, unwarp, fix defects. So in some ways, it's kind of a smart Photoshop plugin, but it happens to be a standalone application. And don't get me wrong, people do a lot of this stuff, like to try and tile materials, to de-res, up-blur, and make something that instead of being a photograph is a tile or like a texture-ready PBR material. There's a lot of grunt work in there, and this artificial intelligence is aimed at making that happen. Now, you may be wondering, and a lot of the comments on the Unity thread itself say, oh, okay, well, maybe it's just been announced and the benefits are going to come soon in a further announcement. Well, this actually isn't news in a weird way. The Irish Times, who are, they're relevant for a reason that these guys are actually based out of Ireland, and said that they were acquired, but they said this back in December of last year. So basically this deal has been under wraps for 3 or 4 months now. The valuation amount is right. They spent $60 million on the company. It's just the details of who actually, buyer's name has not been well disclosed, but industry sources describe it as a well-known Silicon Valley-based company that does not currently have a base in the Republic, which I actually believe ironically just changed. I think they just opened up an Irish office as well. So now we know it was Unity. Now the cool thing is, if you live in Ireland, there is some good news from this, because basically they acquired it recently, so that was back in December is when this acquisition actually went through. But since that point in time, they have said that they're going to create is to create 100 jobs in Dublin over the next 2 years. So if you are in the Dublin area or you are an employee here, the good thing is they aren't going to, buy and pull away all the employees and pull things out. It looks like this is going to be a bit of a boon for the Artomatix team and the people working in the Dublin offices. And as I mentioned earlier on, move comes after Unity announced a new office in the Docklands area of the capital. I have no idea. Never been to Ireland. I have no idea where the Docklands are. I assume, again, they're part of Dublin, but honestly, I don't know anything else. But it is kind of interesting that this deal was actually announced like several months back. But it is cool to see that they're going to be hiring up to 100 people over the next 2 years. It also kind of leads me more to believe that they're going to be more of a standalone company. Okay, so that is the news, that is the announcement. There's really no tangible change here as far as I can tell. Now, perhaps going forward, some of this technology will work directly into Unity and it will become, maybe free like what we see from the Epic Games and Unreal side of things. But I'm not holding my breath, to be honest. I think this is just a straight-out acquisition at this point in time. And, of course, they're going to learn from, machine learning and AI-assisted graphics and all that kind of stuff. That is part of the future. So, acquiring more resources that work in that space is obviously a valuable commodity. All right, so now it's time for me to rant for a bit. Here we are at the Artomatix website. And I asked you earlier on, have you ever heard of it? And the chances are you probably haven't. And you've probably got a couple of questions. First off, how does this software work? And aside from a few screenshots, I can't really tell you much. I can send you to their YouTube channel, but what I would normally do when this kind of news broke is I'm going to go and I'm going to grab the demo, the downloadable version, that kind of stuff. Get my hands dirty with it so I can give you some kind of a feedback of how this software works. Here is sin number one, and I can't stand when companies do this. Here's the free trial link. We'll click the free trial link, and here we go. Kick off your 14-day studio trial. All right, I'm fine with that. Time limit's 100% behind that. I just want to get my hands on this and try it out. Okay, well, first what you do is you send us this form, and then we'll get back to you eventually with a demo. No, no, no. No, and no. I hate this. Just make it so I can download your damn demo. I don't want to be point of contact with your sales team. I don't want to wait until your sales team is on board. I want to try it, and I want to try it now. You lost a customer already on this one, Artomatix. But next up, here's where you would have lost a customer if you hadn't already lost a customer. Here's where the pricing details are. At the top here, you got this nice little category called pricing. So we've got these different tiers going on here. At this point in time, I am not 100% certain how pricing even works. I found an article from like 3 years ago, basically says it was a subscription-based thing, that they moved it to a credit-based system, sort of like what Megascans had. I don't know. And you know what? I can't tell you. And I can't stand this. So you're going to have pricing, and you're going to have 3 different tiers, and you're going to have every one of those tiers to contact our bloody sales department. I ain't doing it. And most people aren't either. They hung up at this point. So hopefully, if someone from Unity is listening, even if you're going to keep this a standalone product, make the demo public, make the pricing public, or at least 1 or 2 of these tiers of the pricing public, because you lost me and you're going to lose thousands of others because of this idiocy. So that's my little rant to end it. And that rant doesn't just apply to this software. If you make a tool for developers and your pricing isn't obvious, at least some tiers of it, and if you make a demo but I have to contact your sales team and first to get it, you failed. Big time. I don't care what kind of company you're in. I can't stand these 2 moves. So, hate to have that overshadow everything else. Nice to see that this is going to result in 100 jobs being created in the Dublin area. It's, a step towards the future, and their product does seem to solve a problem that does need solving. It's too bad I can't get my hands on it to give you an opinion on it or tell you how much it costs, because that's kind of dumb. All right, that's it. That's it for the news. I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.